Hello, kindergarten. It is Mrs. Merritt again, and today we're going to do Module 2, Lesson 6. For today's lesson, we're going to do a lot of observing with our eyes, but if you'd like to grab something to write with and something to write on, that's totally fine. Our objective for today is I can find, so we can look and see, and describe, so using those words. We've talked about maybe positional words we may have to use like above, below, beside, behind, in front of, or we may have to use different shape names we know, but we're going to be able to find and describe solid shapes. So go ahead, pause me if you want to go grab those things, and then come back. Okay, so we have something brand new to explore today. And I want you to look at these shapes below. Is there something you notice about them? They just pop right out, right? They're not flat because I was looking at my notebook. And I'm not sure if you save your notes from when we do math. But look at my math notebook. Do these shapes pop out? No, they're just flat. But the shapes on our screen today, they look like they could just pop right out at us. So those are called 3D shapes or solid shapes. And we're going to explore these a little more today. I went around my house and I did my best to find some things that look like the shapes you see on your screen. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. And we're just going to talk a lot about these shapes. So this is our first solid shape. And the example I have is this candle. Okay? If I had a top on it, it would be a cube. Okay? This is called a cube. This is a real life cube if there was a top on it. Another great example of this is a dice. If you've ever played a game and you've rolled the dice, a dice is a cube. And when we look at a cube, I want you to look at this. And what do you see? Think about it and feel free to pause me and think. Okay. Shape do you see here? A square. And each square of cube is called a face. Can you say face? Yeah, a face, just like our face we have here. But each one is called a face, and the faces connect, and the lines meet, and there's corners and angles. We'll get more in depth about the shapes later, so don't worry. But each face makes up the cube. So let's count the faces on a cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then let's pretend there's one on the top. 6. So 6 squares make a cube. So in a cube, what shape do we see? A square. Very good. And is a cube a solid shape? Yeah, it is. A cube is a solid shape. It's something we can hold, and it's something that's around us. It's not just flat on a piece of paper. It can pop right out it. Excuse me, at us. Okay. I want you to pause this next shape. What do you notice? I'm going to show you a real one. I made this just out of paper. Here, and it would have a circle on the bottom. See? See a circle? So this is a circle. Then what does it look like as I turn it? A big triangle, right? So it looks like a cone. This is called a cone. Has a triangle. And what other shape? A circle. A good example of this is a party hat. So we've done a cube and a cone. Our next shape, I want you to pause me and tell me what you see when you look at this. Here's a real version of it. Okay? What do we see? What do we look if we were looking down at it? If we were looking at the top, what shape is this? A circle. Does it have any sides? No, it just goes around and around and around. And then, so there's the top. Look at the bottom. What shape is that? Another circle. Very good. You can see this in the picture too. One here and one here. Now, this is just from my daughter's play kitchen. So I'm going to see if I can take this apart because let me show you something super cool. 1 minute. Okay, so I got it. It ripped a little, but that's okay. So look at this was wrapped around the two circles. What shape does this look like? Two long and two short sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners is a rectangle. So this 3D solid shape is called a cylinder. And a cylinder is just like this can of food. And we already said there's a circle on top and a circle on the bottom. But what holds those circles together? What flat shape? A rectangle. Very good. Okay, and we have one more. Look at this solid. What does it look like from all directions? What shape? A circle that just pops out. That is so cool. Any way I turn it, it looks like a circle. And look, it can roll. So, what I'm realizing is solid shapes are made up of what kind of shapes? Flat shapes. So in order to make a 3D shape, we need to combine or use a few flat shapes. That is such an amazing thing to realize how they work together. So, I said there were real examples of these shapes all around us. I found some in my house. Before I go and give you a challenge, I want to do this with you. We are going to find the object over here that we could find in the real world and match it with the 3D shape that it represents. Okay? So, I'm going to just start saying the 3D shape names so we get a little bit familiar with them. But don't worry if you don't know them all today. It's okay. So we have a cone right here. I want you to give me a yes or a no sign if you think it matches. Does this cone match this? This is a party hat, I believe. Does this party hat match this shape? No. Does it match this shape? No. What about this shape? No. What about this shape? Yes. The party hat is a cone. So I'm going to draw a line. Now let's look down at the soccer ball. I wonder what kind of shape the soccer ball is. Do we think it's a cube? Yes or no? No. Do we think it's a sphere? Yes or no? Yes. A soccer ball is a sphere. Like this. This is a sphere. The dice. What kind of shape would that be? Let's think. Does it look like the cylinder with the two circles and the rectangle connecting them? Or does it look like the 6 squares connected? The 6 squares. Very good. And now we have this can. I know we only have one option, but challenge. Does anyone remember what 3D shape that's called? It is called a cylinder. And what two flat shapes make a cylinder? Yes, what do we see when we look at the top? A circle. What do we see when we look at the bottom? Another circle. And what shape holds the two circles together? A rectangle. So today, let's recap about what we learned. We learned that there are more than just flat shapes. There are solid shapes or 3D shapes all around us. And we learned that we need our 2D shapes or our flat shapes in order to make those 3D shapes, right? Like our cylinder has a circle, two circles actually, and a rectangle. A cube is really a bunch of squares. Our cone is a circle and some triangles. Like, this is amazing. So, your challenge today. You do have an exit ticket on Google Forms, but I want to hear about all the 3D shapes you can find around your house. So, if you would like to tell me about them, you can fill out the last question on the Google Forms. It'll say, what 3D shapes can you find around the house? I want to hear all about them. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow and figure out what 3D solid shape we are going to learn about. Have a wonderful day.